And then he probably recorded the whole time of me adjusting my clothes.
But you got video on your side?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have video, but yeah, there's the camera.
Let's see.
I just got voice over here on this side.
Come look.
No, I'm not gonna get out.
Can I move this thing?
Oh, just
Hello, welcome to the Too Many Words podcast. These are our mothers.
hi.
We're doing a little special for Mother's Day, as we mentioned before. I'm joined by Isaac and me.
As per usual.
As per usual.
What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. This is for you.
Thank you.
This is assigned to you.
Assigned to me? What does that even mean?
I don't know what it means either.
There's
They
my
smell
baby. Very nice.
Alright. Jordan wanted to do something different with the camera, so I'm just letting him do it.
Okay.
All right. You can just.
What's up,
go now,
YouTube?
Just start doing it.
Okay. As Jordan said, this is another episode of the Too Many Words podcast, but this just is not another episode of the Too Many Words podcast. This is a holiday special. Bonus of the week. Coming out
And
undetermined.
This is
But
me.
for the first time ever, Jordan and I,
My name's Tyrion,
for Mother's Day,
and I look like a Tyrion.
have both of our mothers sitting right next to us in the studio.
In the studio,
Other than what it smells like, what do you guys think of the room?
It's a nice little
Is it
setup.
inviting? Definitely not for girls.
I liked it better during Christmas time.
What was it like during Christmas time?
Empty?
There was comfy chairs and it was
That's 'cause we
dark
take
and
it.
lights and it was. I liked it a lot better. Is that my Sydney?
Or is that my miracle?
No, it's Sydney.
Are you gonna come say hello? You're my daughter too.
I don't think she wants to be seen on the podcast.
Yeah.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Come
but
in and
you can
see.
come and say hi, considering that Tyrion has been forcibly on this episode.
so what's up, YouTube?
Come sit by Vina.
My name's
Sit.
Tyrion
That's where I'm gonna
Seaver,
sit.
Why
because
don't you
it's
come sit
my
for a
birthday
second?
of my episode.
Yeah.
Because Isaac loves me and stuff.
Yeah.
There's Sydney.
Because Jordan loves me, Mommy loves me, and actually Bina.
Well, yeah, and actually, I do love you too.
Why is it just on me and
Because there's another camera.
Because
you got
You
more
can't
angles or
watch.
something? Or?
Yeah.
you can see.
Do we want that to be more
yourself?
pointed on you
You can
guys?
see it with
No?
with
I
your
like I
eyes.
said, I have a vision.
Because
Okay.
I
We're
see
doing ouch.
Yeah? Hope you just didn't
Because
ruin your
you
vision.
can't see me much on
Stupid chair.
Snap.
Get this cat out of here.
Because I like my 4 brothers. So this is Uncle and Jordan and
He's
me.
gonna be a talk show host one day.
Gonna
So-
follow an Uncle Isaac.
Yeah,
we're
let's
gonna
not congratulate the guy who's kind of already there.
Our selfies. So I just got a new iPhone because you can't watch.
You did not just get a new iPhone.
Because you just see with your eyes.
Do we just start with basic questions?
Because you
Yeah.
do that all the time.
So I got a question. Is this a Tyrion episode or is this a Mother's Day episode?
It's a Tyrion episode.
Hey,
No, not
hey.
today, honey. Why don't you
gotta
go with
be
mommy?
quiet so they can talk, okay?
I think I like the style of me subtly being more interviewing of your mother.
I like
and
that
you
too.
interviewing your mother, but it's still an open discussion between
So
the 4
it's
of us.
I have a very.
So
I wanted to open from.
never-
I wanted to open from the very beginning. My first question is: so how did you two meet?
God, school, we were kids.
Tell the exact story.
God.
I want details.
I don't
Well,
want as many details.
Before,
Sammy, what are you
Tyrion.
doing?
Tyrion? Do you need to
on,
answer?
What?
Go with mommy.
I was
Go with mommy.
13. It was right before I started high school, and me and Mom moved to Grimes, and we were driving through Dallas Center, and Steph and Mom, we drove by Bina and Jody's house, and you guys were all sitting out there, and she goes, "Well, there's some girls. Maybe you can make friends with them." And then now I've been friends with them for 30 years.
I never heard that story actually.
Our house was the spot to be at. Everybody came to our house after school on the weekends. Nobody was allowed to go in the house, We all stayed out on the front porch.
I came in the house.
You might have been lucky then.
I remember.
Dusty and Kelly were probably the two ones that were allowed in the house because they were the big ones.
Yeah, but
I
Yeah.
slept at your house and stuff.
I'm talking about like after school when Mom and Dad were at work. Nobody was allowed to come in the house. I just remember hanging out on the front porch. Lynn, Lonnie, Kelly, Nikki, you.
Who's Lynn, Lonnie, and Nikki?
Lynn and Lonnie are the twins. They
Those
can
are
see-
Obviously.
That was our clique when we were younger. We would sit out on the porch and I don't really know if they were going to call them dreads, but we would braid. Hair.
Do something about that.
We would braid everybody's hairs.
Jody and I think Jerry Blakely.
Oh yeah, and Melissa.
Melissa, and we were all gonna start like a singing thing. We were going to do like a singing thing.
Do you remember what Jody wanted to call the little group?
I can't know. I
The
can't.
Hooker Headers.
Oh my god.
Oh, my guess was close to that.
That sounds like a Jody thing, honestly.
Yeah, Jody thing was the Hooker Headers.
I miss those days. I really do. That was a simpler time.
Yeah, it was.
Simpler in the world. Everything
It was the
simpler
90s.
back then.
Yeah,
The 90s was a great era.
late 80s, early
See.
90s.
Only old people are starting to say stuff like that.
See, I never thought I'd be that
Hey,
person.
we ain't
but,
old.
But now,
Hey.
in today's world, are you kidding me?
It's in the character, not the age, Sabrina, I promise.
Yeah.
But anyways,
That's supposed to be.
we didn't do something proper. What's your name, Ma?
No.
We need to know your names.
Just your first name.
Dixie.
Okay, sure. Dixie,
Does it have to be my real name?
you can go by Bina.
I mean,
Oh, let's say everybody calls me Bina.
Okay.
yeah, Venus-
Bina?
Okay, Bina.
Happy
everybody-
Mother's Day with Dixie and Bina.
Jody has told numerous people this. Her name is not Sabrina. It's Bina. The only people that call her Sabrina are lawyers and
Cops.
cops.
Well, and people that aren't really close to you.
Yeah, and people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad. I don't think I ever heard him call you Bina.
No.
Really? Andy?
Yeah. He's never called me Bina. It's always been Sabrina.
You're kidding.
See if you
Abe
get
is-
I never noticed.
And Abe, he's just now within the last year and a half, and I've known him for 10 years. In the last year and a half, he's calling me Bina. He's always called me Sabrina before.
I never knew that.
Isaac's mom's real name is
Nah!
Dusty. Dusty. We've
We
said it
got-
before!
Oh, it's so dusty in this room.
Hate
He's
it,
just
hate it,
saying how
hate it.
dusty it was in this
Remember
room.
when we were camping and I came up with Dixie and you guys would call me that?
No,
Yeah.
I don't remember
Like
that.
sometimes
Well, you
you
weren't
still
there.
do
Yeah,
that.
that was the joke.
You still do that. You and Sydney will call me Dixie Dusty, blah, 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 or whatever.
Anyways, I
like
have
Dixie
a
better. I think about changing it.
I have a couple questions in mind since the
What do you think
beginning
about Dixie?
of this being an idea.
I think of Dixie Chicks.
I like
Basic
Dixie.
questions, but
I
we
think it's
can
Southern,
go as
South.
long or and as short as possible.
So you
I
do
like
you
the
do
sound.
you do a question.
I
Sabrina,
hate my name.
let's
Yes.
start with the silly questions first, and then the better questions near the
Just
end.
do one question.
We're
No.
gonna do one question at a time.
Yeah.
She's gonna answer it. You're gonna ask her the same question. She's gonna answer it.
Oh, I don't want to do
What is the
that.
dumbest thing your son has done? From
That's
your
not-
perspective, other than starting a podcast with me.
Look, see, to me, that's not the dumbest thing ever. To me, that's a smart thing.
I would love to have a silly story
But-
told unto me from the perspective of Bina.
There's
I
not.
really don't have one. Say I don't. Now you would want to ask my mom that question. When he was little, running around the yard, he tripped and fell and had to go to the hospital to get stitches. Going over to the muffler shop with Grandpa, he fell in the pit.
Oh my
6 foot-
goodness, he fell.
6 foot drop, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I ever knew
he
that.
bent over and to look down into the pit, and
Ooh.
he went
How old
and
was
leaned.
he?
Did you land on your head? No.
I don't remember. I blacked
I
out.
don't
so.
know why I've never
My
heard this story.
my dad
I've-
carried him running. If y'all never seen my dad run, try
I
to
woke
picture this.
I woke up.
And he carried him from the
I don't
carried
actually
him from
talk
the
about
muffler
this.
shop.
I remember that. I remember that entire thing. Actually, I remember.
But I don't remember taking you to the hospital for that. We
That's
just
'cause you
kind of kept
didn't-
an eye on
didn't.
you.
So, I woke up. I regained consciousness while Grandpa was running me over to the house.
Oh my god, you were unconscious.
Yeah, no, I went
He
unconscious.
just went with Dad over there just to go
I
visit.
mean, not 4.
and-
He's like 2 feet tall, 6 foot drop.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And so and then I passed out again, and then next thing I know, I was on the couch, and it was 6 hours later. So
Did you go to the hospital?
Oh, see, you just took a
You
relaxing
didn't go to
nap.
the hospital? God, I would have been at the hospital. You know me.
Oh, I do know you, which is why we and a bunch of my friends didn't just go hang out at someone's house after school every day. We really just did that during the summer.
see, Grandpa wouldn't like. Nah, he's fine. He's a boy.
Grandpa was scared.
I'm scared of everything.
Grandpa was scared.
We know that you're scared of everything, Ma.
Especially Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
That is on the forbidden list. Yes.
All right. Ask my mother the same question. The answer cannot hinder any future job applications I put in.
Dusty, what's the stupidest thing Isaac has ever done?
The one that I want to tell is going to be embarrassing.
Well, it's
That's
supposed
the
to be.
freaking point.
It's supposed to be embarrassing.
No, you'll be really embarrassed.
Just say it.
Just
You
Whisper
have
it,
to
whisper
say
it,
it
and
now.
I'll approve it.
Boom.
No.
Is all I got to say. Walmart, boom.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Haven't you actually already sold
Really?
this one?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Are you serious?
Come on.
I think the only embarrassing part was I was 13.
No, you weren't 13.
11. I was 11.
No, you might have been 11.
I was
Might
double
have been.
digits. I was
No,
double digits for
maybe
sure.
10. 10. I think you were 10.
It does not
That's a
matter.
double digit. He said double digit.
One thing that I've known or figured out in podcasting, it does not matter how old I was unless it, like, the main difference is, was I a minor, a child, or an adult?
So there's
So.
many things that, my son has ADHD and everything and forgets. And so there's lots of dumb things that he has done. But this one takes the cake.
Apparently I've done good enough for this to be an easy question.
So we were camping, right?
I was
And-
abandoned.
Listen, we were camping, and so we had went to Walmart for a few items or whatever that we had to get. Well, we had Buddy with us, our dog that we had for many, many years, and so Isaac and Buddy were going to stay in the car with the air conditioning running. I didn't leave my kid in the car and all that. We were just running in. Well, I guess I did leave my kid. It was kind of a different time, not really, but anyway. So we went in, got our few items, and then came back, and I said, "Why does it smell like shit in here?" Like, it was so bad, right? And I thought Buddy had shit in the car. And I get it. I get it.
Blame it on the dog.
I
This
open.
was so abundant I could not sneak it.
I open the door, and I say this and stuff, and I look in the back, and here's Isaac in the very back of the SUV with his, legs out, and he's sitting like this, and I'm like, "What are you doing back there?" And then I was just like, and Justin we were all trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and Isaac had shit himself so badly, because when I had looked at it, I noticed that he had shit on it. I said, "What, did Buddy shit all over you?" Like, "No." You remember? And he's like, "No." And
I remember
I
vividly
crapped
this
my
day.
pants, and I'm like, "Did you try? Why is it on your arms and everything?" It was just, he had got in between the seats and just took a shit in the back, like, and I'm like, "Why didn't you come inside and go to the
Because
bathroom?"
This is. We've already mentioned she's scared of absolutely everything. I thought about going inside Walmart and using the bathroom, but worst case scenario, while I go to the bathroom, my family comes back and calls the police that I'm gone.
And then I
That's-
said,
you would have done
"Well,
exactly
why
that."
didn't you step outside the vehicle and just take
And
a
I was
shit
not
there?"
pooping in a Walmart parking
And
lot.
he said, "Well, I thought I'd go to jail. The police would get me for."
I don't know if I said that.
You
but-
did say that. You thought you were scared of getting in trouble for taking a shit in public, which made sense. But like, if it was
Indecent
me,
exposure.
I would have took a shit outside. He was 10, or,
Well,
or whatever, 10 or
The
11.
only reason why I couldn't hold it is because it was just the worst case of diarrhea.
But
We had
still,
to throw
why
away
did-
my
I can't
underwear. There
remember
was no
what-
going back on it.
I can't remember what you said. Why it was on your arms?
Well, I had to take my pants off.
Like, so I had to, okay, so then we go into the Walmart, right? So I had to take him in and get him all cleaned up, right? And, you know, the Walmart here, there's bathrooms in front of the store. Oh, no, not at the Boone Walmart. We had to walk all the way to the back of the store to go to the bathroom. And I didn't even know what I was going to do. I didn't even know what. I put him in the
Probably
sink.
not embarrassing for him, but
Like,
embarrassing
I
for
tried
you,
to wipe
maybe.
him down. I put him in the sink, wiped him all down. We get back out, and there's still shit on him. And I had tea. I'll never forget it. I had unopened tea, and I took the tea, and I poured it all over you and wiped you off with the tea. What I missed.
You
in
took
the
a tea
bathroom.
bath.
But
Maybe that's why
has
you like
to
tea
be-
so much.
That has to be probably the stupidest thing that my child has ever done.
My mom doesn't know me very well.
No, I don't. I really don't. I'm not gonna lie. I'll admit it. I do not know him very well because
But
my
granted,
mom, his grandma, pretty much raised him.
I didn't really do anything stupid.
Yeah.
You just concussed yourself. If I asked my dad that question, he would have said that me shoving a stranger's bike down the side of a cliff while we were hiking,
Yeah.
while that dude was
Why
fishing.
did you do that?
Okay, so I was 14 or 13 for this.
That's just like when you kick
This
the railings
was
out of
this
my back
this
porch
was
for no
this was
reason.
when Dad was going on a lot of hikes because that's what white people do when they run out of ideas. But yeah, we I like to go off trail sometimes, right? And I see this bike, and I don't see anybody else around, and the bike is right next to a cliff. I'm like, this is an abandoned bike. That's what my ADHD logic told me. This belongs to nobody. They were like, nope, I don't need this bike anymore. So I'm like, I can do whatever I want to this bike. So I shove it, and it drops 40 feet to the ground.
And then the guy yells at you.
And then I notice a guy fishing about 100 yards that way. And he's like, hey! Hey! And I'm like trying to play it cool. I run back to the group. And then 20 seconds of him shouting go by. And my stepmom at the time was like, is he yelling at us? Your kid threw my bike down the path.
Oh no.
Right
I've
down the
never
hill.
even heard this story.
Yeah, that was the most my dad's ever been mad at me, actually. He's like, what were you thinking?
So
I was
did
like,
he
"I
go
thought it
down
was
and get the
abandoned."
bike or what?
My dad made me go get the bike and walk it to the man fishing.
How did you get it?
I mean, when I say cliff, it was really just a steep hill drop off for it to do that. So, there was a path where you could just walk down and then you get it, and then I had to walk it down to that. A stranger touched me on the shoulder that day. He's like, hey man, it's okay. We all do dumb things.
Is
as
that the
kids."
fisherman?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty dumb, yeah.
All right. Well, we got a couple stories about us. I want to do another story about them. What was high school together like in the 90s?
I loved it. Well, at the time you hated it, but now looking back, I would do it all over again.
The only time we really spent together would be after school, or on the weekends.
Yeah, she was 2 grades.
You guys
ahead.
not have any class? Oh,
I was a
really?
Yeah.
freshman and she was
Well,
a
yeah.
junior.
You're 2 grades ahead of me.
That's true, but you went to a different school, doofus. Well, I mean, I guess I still had classes with freshmen and stuff as a senior.
I don't know if we ever had study hall or anything together.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And you guys both went to the original high school building,
Yeah.
I
right?
miss that school.
I did too.
They've done a lot of changes to it now.
When
It's
they
not, the Dell Center of Grimes is not the same as it used to be.
No.
have
of
you
course
been
not.
inside the junior high?
Yeah, when we went to some 100-year reunion
Yeah.
or
The-
something like
oh,
that.
The only thing that's the same thing is the gym.
Gym and that hallway leading to
It
the
was
gym.
so strange in there. I didn't
Yeah.
even like being in there because it was so different. Because I wanted to go creep around and look around, and it was like. this
It was
isn't
the
even
gym that
same.
was the same. The locker rooms, the creepy locker rooms on the
Basement?
sides of the.
Yeah, they're still there.
Stage?
They don't go down there.
Yeah, no, they're not used.
They build new ones. So
Yeah. Well, there was a locker room that was back behind it where the band room was. That's what they're using for the girls now. I don't know what they're using for the boys' locker room.
So you
The
remember
boys' locker room
the,
was in the same
building
place.
that was like 3 stories high and health and art were on the top?
Oh, that
and
part's gone.
The middle was study hall and like typing and stuff. And
Yeah.
The bottom was like
Where the
computer.
cafeteria was,
Yeah,
that's
the
gone.
cafeteria
That's
was
gone.
there.
I
I wish I would have paid attention in high school. I tell you that. I was more interested in hanging out than doing anything.
I didn't
Hanging
like
out.
the school part of high school.
Alrighty then.
Could have been a
It
cat
was one of
with
your
the string.
psycho cats.
Is there a string on there?
It does not matter. Let's go. What? You just wanted to hang out and not do homework? You could have done homework together.
None of my friends did
Nah.
homework.
I
When we did, we copied each other's shit. Somebody had it done. Oh, give me it.
how often did you skip school?
Oh, dear God.
I did it
You know,
once.
yeah, you and your one time.
One time, half a day, I left during 5th period.
I was a habitual offender.
Grandpa does not know this.
The grandma and grandpa.
The one time they don't know you skipped
No,
school
my
one
mom
time.
did, because she grounded me. My dad did not. My dad did not know. My mom knew.
No, I was an habitual offender. They just had a little post or whatever
Do you
that
know who-
said who was your skip school buddy or something like that.
You know who caught me? Adkins,
Really?
the principal. He was driving by. I'm like, why the hell?
Oh, when I got in trouble, he was driving by.
I'm like, why the hell ain't you at school? You're the principal. You're supposed to be there all day long. You can't leave.
He was looking for you.
I miss it. I do it again.
I straight up lied to him though.
The only thing I miss about high school is show choir. So. Yeah.
And
You miss
being-
high school at all? No, you don't.
I miss high school every day.
Really?
Like
My
I said.
25th reunion is coming up. Actually, I was invited to the thingy.
Where did you graduate from again? Because it wasn't Dallas Center, right?
No, but I'm still included.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying
Just
you're
like
not.
just like Aunt Jody. She didn't graduate from DCG, but
And
she's still included.
She's invited too.
She finished over.
Kelly didn't even graduate.
She was the only one. I know that much.
And she wasn't even in my grade anymore, and she's still invited.
Shh. Jody went to the alternative school over in
Blades
Adele.
is invited,
Metro?
and she left. I can't remember sophomore year, but she's invited. So we still
you
claim.
and-
I claim Dallas Center as my school.
Yeah.
So
Were you and Jody in the same grade?
yeah. Yes.
Pretty sure we
See,
actually
all my
talked about
friends are grade lower than me. Two
that once.
grades
All
lower
my
than
friends
me.
were 2 grades above me.
Well, Lynn and Lottie and Melissa, they were a grade below me.
Okay, so like
Who's Lynn,
two-
Lonnie, and Melissa?
They were good friends.
I
of
know
ours.
Melissa.
Yeah, they're
I know
Melissa
Well, you-
Hagen.
Lynn and Lonnie Carpenter.
Mm-hmm. Then there was Jerry Blakely.
Jerry
You know
Lingle?
Jerry, you've been
No.
over to her house a couple times. And when you guys were babies, I would always go over to her house. And you'd play with Jordan, her daughter, and we used to be really close back then.
Yeah.
My name is Jordan.
Oh, there's a story with that one too. Jerry got so mad at me. That's why she quit being friends with me, because I named him Jordan, because she wanted to name her first child Jordan.
She did. She
Yeah.
got to. It's
Yeah,
still-
she got to.
still
She had a girl and she named her Jordan. But she was so mad at me because I named him Jordan. That was her name.
You should have let Dad name you Steve.
I mean,
He gave you Austin, so we're
I mean that
good.
Jordan's equally awesome too, though. So
Steve Austin.
Yeah,
No.
his dad's favorite wrestler.
yeah,
I let him have Austin.
We talk about that a lot on the podcast, actually. All right. You have another question, Isaac?
yeah, that's kind of funny because I've already asked Hannah, like, hey, can our son be Bray Wyatt?
Wyatt's a good middle name.
Wyatt's a great name, by the way. Yeah.
For
But,
first or middle.
Either one.
For
honestly.
either, but I heard that Wyatt is like a humdinger name,
I don't know what that means, but all right.
like a dumbass name, like a dumbass kid name. Like that person's a douchebag and also is thoughtless. But, anyways, let's get into some pop culture stuff. What was
That's not true.
the song for your high school days?
I have many.
Yeah, name a few.
Many.
Our senior class song was Nirvana, Come As You Are.
Okay.
Now that's fucking sick. Okay?
I have
We
no
didn't
idea
care.
what the class.
My class song.
Because she wasn't there.
Year I
My class song was
graduated.
"It's Time" by Imagine Dragons. That song's annoying as
I don't
shit.
even have to look it up.
I don't think art class
I'd have
had
to-
a song.
I'd
You
have to
probably
hear
did.
it.
You just didn't know it.
I could probably.
We
look it
didn't
up.
advertise a class song at all, but we had one. It was part of the final the senior video because I was in the senior video.
There's lots of songs like
I still
Tupac,
have.
Biggie. I mean,
I still have my graduation announcement.
That every time I think of strawberry wine, I think of your sister.
Why?
Because we always sang that song when we were like freshmen.
Did y'all drink wine too?
Well, you know, what was that, Boone's Farm? $2 Boone's Farm and shit.
Well, there was a period in time when Kelly's daughter Katie and she'd come over and we would drink 3 bottles of wine.
A Boone's Farm?
No,
Oh,
no.
it's like
Just
No, the Dollar
bottles of
General.
wine.
Dollar General bottle of wine.
I've never
Aldi.
had one.
Dollar General.
But
Come
see,
on.
Penny also went on wine tours and she would just buy bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles of wine. And that's what Katie and I would drink. She'd bring us bottles of wine
There
over.
was so much good music back then, though.
There was.
All right.
A lot more rock heavy.
Dixie Chicks was one of my favorite albums. We all would sing all of the songs to that. I love
See,
it.
I don't like-
you're not a country person.
No, I'm not
But
this new
Reba
country
was
stuff.
huge.
The old school stuff I listen to.
I don't
and
know.
will sing
Thanks to
along with.
Dad. Dad really ruined a lot of country for you.
He did. He did. That's
Now
why
I-
I'm so
now I
glad
can
that
see
you
you too.
listen to the music that you listen to, that
Don't
I
get me
listen
wrong.
to.
Don't get me wrong. I
Before I
listen
get-
to country music too.
What? Why?
Baby.
Because it's got some good stuff. in
First
there.
I could see me and Isaac, now I could see you.
Yeah, it's because I turned
Yeah,
it.
you
turned
turned
it.
to the camera.
So, now it's on you.
Yeah.
Because
there
I
you
just
go.
kept staring at my own self. Like,
So, what did you guys do hanging out? You didn't just look at each other all the time, right?
me and Bina had different hanging outs. Like,
We did.
very different. Like,
Did you guys ever see a movie
like
together?
Bina
No.
was at home by 9 o'clock. The streets.
I was one who never got in trouble. I was the good girl. of the
Remember
group.
the time I took you with me?
Oh, I remember a time. I don't remember the guy's name. He drove a Jeep and we went to Target.
Oh, that was Patrick Lewis. I'm talking about the time where
I gotta say it. Your mama was a little thief. Walking around Target, she'd be.
I don't recall this. Why did you say something like
Because
that?
Hey.
Your the foundation, your makeup, you didn't have money to pay for it, so you were just walking around killing time, and you're trying to very discreetly open up compacts.
No
I was
one's-
14 years old.
No one's gonna give a crap, Mom.
Anyway.
But mind
about
you, we're in a fucking Jeep,
stolen
and it's the
makeup
middle
from
of
25
winter.
years
I
ago.
remember
Okay, and
that.
it's cold.
I remember that. Anyway, the time I'm talking about is when we took off. I think we were in Kevin Shelley's car, and
Hey, I know that guy.
we met Mike Berger, and I think it was
Hey, I know that guy too.
Bennett, maybe Bennett. Lyman,
I don't know
We
either
met
of these
all
people.
of them at the bowling alley at Plaza Lane.
I remember that.
They're saying
and
names that I
you
know.
were not back in time. And something, and God, I don't remember if this was the time when your dad came out with the baseball bat with nails in it and chased the car, and I was in Brian Linebar's car, and I can't remember who else was there.
Oh,
If
see,
we-
Grandpa was crazy back in the day, wasn't he?
He may not remember where it's at, but I
he
bet
doesn't.
you if we dig somewhere, we're gonna find it. It's probably out in the garage somewhere. Because that baseball bat was mine. It was given to me, but I don't remember who. But it was mine, and he took it because it's dangerous.
Oh, he chased the car. I remember
Yeah.
that.
That
But
is hilarious.
We had, she obeyed the rules and was at home and stuff. I didn't really have
You know what's
very
funny?
much parental
I didn't have a curfew.
supervision, so I was always
I know,
out
because you're a boy.
Yeah, that's a good-
till whatever time.
that's a very good point, actually.
He's saying he didn't have a curfew. I was like, yeah, because you're a boy.
Grandma and Grandpa let me do whatever the fuck I want.
They did.
I would leave and go to Charlie's for 3 days at a time, and they didn't question it. Granted, it's
So
Dallas
we were
Center,
very
so
different parenting than
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
Because getting her or Jody to be able to do anything was like pulling teeth.
Jody would do it anyway. She didn't care.
Yeah.
Jody was a
That's why me
Jody
and
was a
Jody
rebel.
hung out
That's
most
what
of the
I
time.
Yeah.
heard a lot of.
See,
stories
I was
about
little Miss
Jody.
Goody Two Shoes. I was the one who never got in trouble. I was scared to get into trouble.
Yeah,
Oh,
Grandpa's
I
scary.
know, and we've caught you into it sometimes, but
Yeah. I'd have fun going out and doing it, but
This
it was
is a
the
great
coming
idea.
home.
I'm actually having
I
a
remember
lot
when
of
you used to
fun
get the
right now.
van and we'd drive around Dallas Center and stuff. We'd
Oh,
all
that's
pile
right.
into the
They
van.
had a van.
There's a big van too.
It was a Pontiac
Remember we used to
Transport.
always talk about it was like a spaceship.
And they give it to
It was
Dad.
like a
Doorstop.
freaking spaceship.
It was a
It was
doorstop.
like the longest nose I've ever seen in my life.
It was a Pontiac Transport van. It looked like a damn doorstop.
We'd
And-
be cruising.
They gave it to
bumping
Dad,
music
didn't
and
they?
that.
What year was this?
No. Well, yes, they gave it to us when we were living in Newton, and he hit a curb and popped a tire, and
They had it.
just died.
We
so
were
we
kids. I
Dad
mean,
had
it
a
was
tendency
the
to
90s.
kill cars that were getting
he did. He did.
Was it new when you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been like
My
94
grandma,
or something,
my grandma
93.
had a white 4-door little car, and they traded in the car for the van, because
It's a family.
we were walking home, and here they come. I think Mom was turning onto 13th Street from the co-op, or in front of the co-op, and
What'd you find?
No,
It was a bug, but what kind of bug?
doesn't matter.
Okay.
it's dead now.
It was
and-
a spider.
No,
It was
So
a
yeah,
cockroach.
A
it was.
centipede.
no.
It was a cockroach.
Better not be.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. We have the cleanest studio. Welcoming our guests.
I don't remember. I don't know if Mom or Dad listened to this, but
Grandma does sometimes. She sees the shorts, but that's it.
Share whatever you want if it's true.
Well, I'd stolen the van one night, and down at Casey's, there was a sign that says no parking or something. I think it was when the trailer park was right there, and I
What?
backed up on the. It was on the passenger door, and
I'm gonna
I
pause
was.
you for a second. The trailer park was there until after I was born.
That's
Well
what
after I was born.
about
So
to
yeah,
say,
it had
of
to have
course
been
the
there.
trailer park was there.
Laura Lou and Uncle Rick lived there in that trailer park.
Really?
Really?
All right.
Anyways, I was backing up, and I was a little bit too close to the sign, and the passenger side mirror went and popped out. I cried. I was so scared. Tried to fix it, pushing it back in, even using super glue, trying to get it to go in there. And sorry, Mom, but yeah, that was me that broke it.
Hey man, we talked
Fix
about
it.
starting fires and what we think was abandoned buildings on this podcast. We talked about not accidentally using the women's restroom and then having 6 sheriffs come to your camping spot on this podcast. You can talk about
Excuse
the illegal
me?
things that you've done. You can talk about the illegal
Fix it
things you've
just
done.
enough so that it looks like the next person broke it, right?
Okay,
You know?
okay. Then
Well,
It's
you
just
told
hearsay.
about you're stealing your mom's car. Do you remember the one time that I stole my mom's car?
Talk about
No.
whatever you guys
Oh.
want, legal or not.
So-
we don't care.
Grandma Vicky drove this car that was 20 feet long. Do you remember the blue car?
no.
That blue car
Mom,
she had.
Grandma had a
It was
limousine?
like 20 feet long. It was so
Hey, those-
ginormous.
Those boat cars.
I can't remember what it was. You don't remember?
Cadillac?
No.
Was it a Cadillac?
No. It
Was it-
God.
eh.
It was like a living room. I mean, when you were sitting in the back seat, you were like sitting in a living room.
I'm trying to think.
Wow.
That's how big it was, right?
Oh.
So Chevrolet, Cadillac, Lincoln.
Call Grandma Vicky.
Grandma loves the Oldsmobiles.
Oldsmobile
We
had
are
a lot of.
calling Grandma Vicky.
Call
Yeah,
Grandma
that's okay.
Okay. While she's calling Grandma Vicky, I let Kelly drive the van downtown, scooping the loop. She sideswiped another vehicle, and I was like, pull over, and they pulled over with it, and they said, it's okay.
You're lucky.
It happens. I was like, I am so sorry.
You were
We
crying,
didn't
weren't
mean
you?
to-
I bet
I
she
probably
cries all
was.
the
I
time.
mean, no,
I
you
know
cried at
it is.
everything.
I know I do. But the dudes were really fucking cool, and it's like, it's okay. It's really okay. So,
She's not gonna answer.
I know she's not. Anyway, I can't remember what it was, but it was like 20 feet long. It was like powder blue, huge living room seats, right? I'm like 15. And so I'm
I
talking
would
to,
never
it
trust
was
a
Shelly Mercer, of course, and I can't remember some other girl she was with. And I was supposed to get my mom's car, and then we were going to go and drive it to this guy's house, like what I know now, I think, is like the deep south side somewhere.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Probably
Anyway,
a fat person upstairs.
which the south side is way far from Grimes.
yes.
So
Very, yeah.
this car.
Yep.
That's
so,
like a 45-minute drive.
so Shelly lived across town, and I lived off of James or whatever, and she was all the way on like South 12th or something like that. And so, by the time it took me to back out this enormous car, pull it to the side street and up to the stop sign, they had already walked all the way from her house to my apartment building almost. Like, I see, when I pulled up to the stop sign, there they were. I was like, well, that must have took me like a good half an hour to get it from that place to that place. And then, of course, I let one of them drive because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then we went and drove all night and stuff, went over to the south side, seeing the people that we were going to see and all that jazz, and then came back, right? And then Sherry, Siobhan's mom, caught me. Caught me. The one time that I take my mom's car, giant, embarrassing car anyway, but said,
I like Sherry.
if you don't tell your mother, I'm
Do we know her
going
still?
to.
I do.
Okay.
So, of course, I had to immediately go inside and says, well, Sherry's going to snitch on me, so I took your car, and it's back, and it's sitting right out there. And so, I can't remember how much trouble I was in. It was really, my mom was kind of like nonchalant about stuff, so she probably yelled at me, and that was about it.
Probably.
So,
Probably.
but yeah, I took the one time, of course, I get caught, you know.
I stole my dad's truck once too, way back in the day. Just
Which
drove-
one was
Listen
that?
to you snitching on
Which
yourself.
truck was that? Was that the
Is
green one?
No, the orange one.
Oh, I
I went
don't
almost.
think I ever saw
I
that.
almost hit a
Small
car driving down by the park, and then I don't know where Mom and Dad was. Jay Tully. It was New Year's Eve. Jay Tully, Kelly, and my dog, and I think Jeremy Bales was with him too. Went to Des Moines for something.
What was your dog?
Huh?
Dog.
You said dog.
Yeah, dog.
Like wolf?
Original dog. Don't you know dog?
He was like no. He was
No,
he was
I
the
do.
baby
I do.
When
I
she
know we're
died.
talking about Dog the dog, but I didn't know you were like, you just brought your dog to downtown
Like-
Des Moines?
Like what?
I wasn't there. I was at home.
Someone stole your dog and brought it to downtown
Almost,
St.
no.
What?
Kelly, okay. I don't know I don't know where Mom and Dad were at, but I was having a New Year's Eve party or a get together, and they all went to Des Moines. I stayed home. They all went to Des Moines, and they got into a fucking car accident. And dog took off.
God, you guys
Downtown dog from Dow Center.
Yes.
Was
They were lost. They didn't go
downtown Des Moines.
not clear downtown. They were like on the outskirts. I do not remember where though. Jay might remember. I don't know. But
Jay totally.
he hit a fucking pole. And the car
Jay
was
did?
I believe he was the one that
Oh,
was
God.
driving, yes.
I think I got in a car accident with him once.
That's one of the main reasons I don't go out on New Year's
I
Eve
did
anymore.
get in a horrible car accident with him now. I remember it. Remember that big curve outside Maria's?
I
Out
don't-
there?
Oh, yeah.
Like that big giant turn. Me and Maria were telling him, I think it was Maria was with us. To
What,
slow
right there
down,
by
slow
her
down.
house or out
Yeah.
there on the gravel
Out
road?
on the gravel road. There's a giant freaking turn
Wow.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Devil's
and we were
Corner.
there screaming.
Someone kidnapped
screaming.
my mom's dog. Took her
No,
to
they
downtown
took they
Des
didn't
Moines,
they didn't
and then
kidnap her.
ran
They
it
just
off.
took her for a ride because dog loved car rides.
Well,
so
yeah,
they just
but
took
who
her for a
does
ride.
that? Who the fuck takes someone else's dog and just goes on a joyride with
I'm
them?
They
pretty sure
asked.
the dog got picked up many times by
Oh, yeah.
all of us.
Oh yeah.
That's weird as shit. That's
Drove around with
weird.
a dog in the car.
That is really
She
weird.
was 12 years old and she had a litter of puppies
She had
every
litters of
single.
puppies all the time, and there's
Yeah.
all these puppies running around in the front yard.
I got pictures. I got pictures.
Oh,
Yeah, and
the
then one of
cutest
them was given
puppies.
to Mary Louise, and that was Lucy. Yeah.
Lucy. Her name was Lucy.
Lucy
And then
was a
we
very
also
special
had given
dog.
a couple of the dogs to a guy that lived out in the country. But sad story, they got ran over by a combine.
Oh shit! Oh my
And he kept coming back for more.
I mean, I would too, but like,
Every time we had puppies up, if he still had yeah, he'd let us know what had happened and everything.
well,
We
shit, your
cried.
dog got ran over by a combine again.
Well, they love to run out in the fields. Go figure, dog loved to run all over town. I don't
And
remember.
she got pregnant all the time.
I don't remember what the father. It was always the same dog too. The
Yeah.
same dog. I don't remember what his name was, but it was
I don't remember either.
Hawbakers out in the country around right before Devil's Corner. But a dog
Yeah.
always made it out there to the water.
Is that the place I'm talking
The water
about?
treatment.
big giant
I want to
bird?
let's talk about Devil's Corner for a second. Actually, that had a
Jay, and he was so pissed when he wrecked this. I think we were in a little truck. Wrecked it, and then of course
I
we had to walk
remember
back
that truck.
and get help and all that stuff. But we had told him, slow down, we're gonna wreck, and sure as shit we did.
Devil's Corner had a fucking reputation even in my high school days.
Oh yeah.
Like
Is it
there
still
hadn't
like that?
there hadn't been a
No,
wreck there.
they
in
got
at
houses.
least-
Yeah, I was gonna say there's houses. and
They
stuff.
got houses built out there now.
There
I mean,
hadn't been a wreck
it's still
there for
there.
so long, but people still knew about it. People
Yeah.
knew it was like, you gotta go slow around there, or you will die.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
wrecked
why it's
there.
called
Devil's Corner is a little gravel road turn right outside, right on the edge the top, or
It was right past
It's
Maria's
the-
house, wasn't it?
it's the south.
Kevin and Maria, they lived across the street from each other.
North,
Out
south.
that way, wasn't it?
That, well, it's the gravel
Southeast,
road
it's the
leaving
southeast
town.
corner of Dallas Center.
Well, you
There's
know,
a gravel
Teacher's
road
Corner.
turn. It's a straight 90-degree turn.
Stay Albertred lived out there.
And,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Teacher's
Yeah.
Corner
I
where
think
all the
it's-
teachers lived at.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then
yeah,
Just
it's
and
the
go
gra-
too
Ford
fast
was out
around
there,
that. You're
too.
yeah,
going
it's
straight
the road
into
that
the
the
And do you
It
know
was
whatever
kind of-
happened to Mrs. Ford?
yeah, she's a she works at the administration offices in Dallas Center Groves.
I really liked her. She was
When I
one of the
moved back
people that
here,
actually
she
believed in me.
when I first moved back to Dallas Center,
What's your
she
next
helped me
question?
out.
I have a couple.
Ask away.
But that Devil's Corner thing reminds me of a road in Melcher, Dallas, actually. See, I used to
Went
date a
through
girl.
Melcher, Dallas on the way to Sheraton, a couple times.
I used to date a girl who lived in Sheridan, and my first trip there was in the middle of the night because I might have not exactly been allowed to go to Sheridan at the
No,
time.
Same.
not at all.
Same. My first trip
And
was
there is a
night.
gravel 90-degree turn
Oh, this one was
around
paved.
this, just on the outskirts of Melcher, Dallas, and it was dark, and I almost went off into
Oh
a ditch.
my lord! And see why I tell you not to do things.
And
See what
I
happens
used
when you tell him not to do things? He's gonna do things anyways.
I used trial and error. That was the closest I ever got to getting into that
Oh
ditch.
my god! What would I have done?
What would you
Cried.
have done? Yeah, probably
Cried.
panicked and did nothing after that. Probably had someone else call the police or someone. But anyways, my next question.
Before you. Yeah. Okay. I got my question because
You got it.
Yeah. Well, who was your favorite teachers in high school?
Tomlinson,
Not-
the art teacher.
Not necessarily high school, just in school in general.
N/A.
Well, when I moved to Dallas Center in 3rd grade, my teacher was Mrs. Hunsicker. She was my favorite teacher then
Hunsicker.
because it was I moved out of
Wait, I
Johnston.
thought 3rd grade was.
Mrs. Minger. That's who my teacher. That's who I went to. My 3rd grade.
Please elaborate. Please elaborate more. When you
We moved out of Johnston, Dog Patch,
Yeah.
Johnston, and it was Mrs. Hunsicker. We moved to Dallas Center
You gonna
Grimes.
offer me a beer or something?
Why?
Well, I want to preface something actually. You guys actually lived pretty close to here, didn't you?
Yeah, on Merle Hay. Up
Yeah,
Merle
well,
Hay
Dog. I don't know.
there. Dog patch.
Dog Patch, and
Yeah.
we used to live on Merle Hay Road too. But, you know, Bishop Drum, the retirement home.
No.
Behind
but-
Skate North is Dog Patch. Right?
Yeah, behind Skate North. Well, we moved from Merle Hay Road to Dog Patch. And
I only say that because I knew Grandma's from Johnston, and obviously our family cemetery is right up the road over there. So yeah, okay.
that's
now
where
go
your
on.
great grandma's buried at.
That's where a lot of
Great-grandpa
families
and
buried
Great
at.
grandparents at, yeah, and Uncle Jeff and
Pretty much Uncle Jeff and up is buried there.
Hey, Ma.
oh, yeah.
So
I
what,
haven't answered the teacher question.
what was the teacher that was most okay with you being a part-time student?
Lots of people.
Okay, who's your favorite teacher?
So
Well, first let's answer
Mrs.
She didn't finish.
the
Well, she
least
had an
favorite
answer.
teacher.
She didn't
Well,
finish
first-
though.
Mrs. Ford
She didn't say
was
that was
my
her favorite teacher.
mentor.
She was
It's
just
fine.
saying.
We're gonna talk.
Okay.
Mrs. Ford was my mentor. Mr. Lahaz and I
I remember him.
Had a love-hate relationship.
He was my
where,
general math
like,
teacher.
When, you know, because I had potential, but I never did anything. And so when I did try,
Never applied
I
yourself.
had the almost 100% for the one whole entire month. I had the top grade in pre-algebra. I was still, I think, a freshman or something. But and you know, you see that I can do well if I actually tried. I just never did. But
We just
Mrs.
didn't
like
care.
Mrs. Ford was my mentor, and you know, and these people that like actually got me knew like my history and identified and stuff like that. So it wasn't like there wasn't reasons why I, you know, didn't participate like I should and stuff like that. And like Mrs. Cashman, she was.
I remember her too.
I was in interior design
Nice, you
or
noticed I
home
turned it
ec
back.
and all that kind of
Mrs.
stuff.
Cashman, that was
with
the-
Mrs. Cash. She was like home ec.
The home ec,
and,
yeah.
like that kind of stuff. So she was like
She
more of
didn't
a
like
fun
me either.
class. So I liked her. Mr. Kobus and I had kind of a love.
Mr.
Hate
COVID,
thing.
what?
Kobus.
I know that was a joke.
We had kind of a love hate thing too, like. You know, because I was a smart ass and I joked back and forth and stuff.
He was
And
a smart ass too.
And I'd be in in-school suspension in his class in the back of the room, and he would address me throughout all of his classes. So You know, and Mr. Hector was cool. I was in school
Mr.
suspension
Reed.
in his class too.
Mr. Reed didn't like me.
Oh no, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed would come up and slam a book down when I was.
I know of this Mr.
fake-
Reed because I
fake
had his wife as
listening
a
and
teacher.
fake writing, and he'd slam the book down and
She was my
announce that
computer
I was
teacher.
not awake. It
Well, there was
terrible.
we had a couple
Reeds. Yeah, I know.
Reeds as teachers. One of them was Mrs.
Mrs.
Reed.
Reed.
She was the
Gym
PE teacher.
I also had her.
You had Mrs. Reed.
I had a lot of the same teachers.
Yeah.
as
Did
mom.
you
He
have
did.
Mr. LaHaas? I know
No.
that he ended up
No.
going to Waukee, I think.
That's
probably why he asked the question. He's got a lot of teachers that you guys had.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you have
actually
Stammerman and Ryan?
Mrs. Dixon.
Shepard.
Mrs. Dixon.
had-
She's Mrs. Pink now.
Is she really?
Yes.
Who's Mrs.
Mrs.
Dixon?
Pink.
She
Her
was
fourth
my
grade teacher.
Who was the?
No,
the,
that was my
no,
fourth grade teacher.
she was
Who
my
was
fifth
the
grade.
one
She was my
that
fifth grade.
took over government. He looked like Kermit the Frog, kind of.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
He had a weird last name, I think.
Good morning, class.
He
I
didn't
don't
sound
know.
like him. He just kind of looked like him. I don't know. He was kind of an
There
ass.
was a lot of teachers that were really old.
Mrs. Woolworth would always yell at me
Kinda
Woolworth.
remember.
when I walked
remember
by
her.
the computer lab, or not.
Let's
computer,
talk about-
typing class.
Okay, I was taking independent computer aided drafting.
With
CAD
Lang-
class.
Lang,
No,
Mrs. Lang.
Mr. Vale.
Oh, Mr. Vale was the shop teacher.
Yes, I was the only girl that took shop back in the day. When starting in high school, I was
Yeah,
the only
I
girl.
I mean, look
I
at your
could take
father.
shop.
So it's a very valid.
Anyways, because of that, I got kicked out of the independent CAD class because I skipped. That's when I left for the half day, and I got the half day of in-school suspension.
You had in school?
A half a day because I left for a
What?
half day. I straight up just walked out. I was going to go to my boyfriend's house.
Mom had a boyfriend.
I had
Yeah.
so many hours of detention freshman year that at the end of the year I had like 40, 50 some hours of detention. So me and
God, you guys were
and
bad kids.
Shelly Mercer had to come
I
to
wasn't.
school
Yes, you
the
were.
day after school was
Don't tell
over
me you were.
and serve our detention.
They're like
No,
hockey
I was
players
the good kid. I just had a bad
counting penalty
reputation.
minutes.
Huh?
You guys are like hockey players counting penalty minutes.
I don't know.
Did
Don't
they
worry.
still give detentions?
Oh, I guess you have to
Yes.
understand hockey for that. to-
Yes, they still give detentions
Yeah,
and
good job.
in-school suspension and out-of-school suspension.
The only thing I ever got was lunch suspension.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
You had a
so-
lunch suspension.
Just-
Let's talk about the. You might not remember it because I don't know if you weren't even there, but the food fight in junior high. That Mr. Davidson, the PE teacher,
He was
another
all-
one that
gave
I
my
also had.
entire
That
class.
was Mr. Watson.
Or a
That
lunch
was the algebra
detention,
teacher.
actually.
I don't know what that is. I guess we didn't really have those.
You had to eat your lunch in the office that day.
Oh, I guess yeah, we had something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very awkward.
He didn't know who started the food fight, but everybody in the 8th grade class got in trouble in PE class. The power push-up, you don't know what that is?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, diamond push-ups?
You had to have your hands like this,
Yeah.
and you had to stay like that. We had a girl in my class that had an asthma attack because she was struggling, and he wouldn't let her get down. He wouldn't let her stop.
Oh, today he would have been in so much shit.
I had him. He was great.
Davidson?
Yeah. He was the greatest PE teacher. People cried when
Did
he
you have
left.
Watson?
No.
You're lucky there.
Yeah.
Mr. Watson, right?
Yeah.
He was a teacher. He was still a teacher there. I think like the year before I made it to the high school.
Well, if you can remember, they had a couple different PE teachers. Like, one grade had one PE teacher, another grade had another PE teacher.
I was talking about Mr. Watson teaching algebra.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was not a PE teacher.
No, that I'm not thinking of the same teacher then, because...
I think Watson might have been a coach too,
Yeah, he was.
but he was my algebra.
But I also had Mr. Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
He loved me. Literally, he is the inventor of the JVC.
Really?
He's the first person to call me that. He coined that term.
Why?
Who did?
Mr. Lewis.
I don't know who that is.
He was a PE teacher.
Yeah.
He had just started out when we were there.
Without him, I would not be known as JVC to this day.
It might have happened
And
eventually.
I honestly don't think so. That
Really?
was my like.
I
'cause
failed, Jim.
The only reason it took
The
off
mile
was
run.
because of school.
I failed,
Because
Jim.
it happened at school. None of my friends called me JVC until high school even. Like Middle school, a lot of it was just my classmates and whatnot, and until like my sophomore year of high school, that's when like Andy and Armin and all of them started calling me JVC. Previously, all my friends called me Yoda because that was just the OG nickname for me. There's a story for that. I talked about that on a previous episode of the podcast.
Episode 4. No.
That would be the
6.
episode with Charlie.
Episodes with Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, I thought it was with Simon.
kind of backing up to the teachers that I didn't like or hated. Mr.
Oh.
Hector. He
Mr.
only
Hector?
he only passed me
That wasn't the question.
because he did not want to see me in his class again.
We had a
Mr.
few
Hector,
teachers
like
like
all
that.
the guys would go out and hang out with Mr. Hector.
How old was he?
So, like, I heard some really cool stories about Mr. Hector.
He didn't want me to. I graduated at midterm my senior year because he did. Yeah, he did not want to see me come back to take his class. One class is all I would have had to take was his class, and he did not want to see me come back, so he passed me, so I didn't have to come back.
Next question.
I want to go back. So, okay, we kind of interrupted Mom. When you came, you had this one teacher, right? Who was that again? When you started at DCG?
Mrs.
The
Minger.
first teacher you
third grade
listed.
teacher.
The
Mrs.
first,
Minger.
the first third grade teacher.
The first one is Mrs. Hunsaker. That was in Johnston. Moving to
Oh.
Dallas Center Grimes, DCG, was Mrs. Minger.
Okay. I thought you had a teacher at DCG in third grade, and then you were like, I don't like this teacher, then you moved to a different one. Okay.
No.
I
Because
don't think that was allowed back then. Like nowadays, with all you fluffy people, that all
If
definitely
you
could
bitch
be.
enough, no
But-
matter what
but
year
back
it was,
then,
it'll...
your parents would say, "Toughen it up and suck it up," and you're doing that.
Well, when I first started in DCG, they only had one grade classroom. Mrs. Minger was the third grade teacher. That was it. There were no other third grade teachers.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we come like the class.
Lord and Savior.
My class would have been like 98 people or 100 people that graduated. I mean, it was small.
I mean, we had like 300.
When we went to school, like I was a freshman, she was a junior. I knew everybody in the school. From freshman to senior, everybody
Okay, I
knew
didn't know
everybody because it was that. I mean, 100 kids per grade or whatever. I mean, we all knew each other.
I graduated in '96. We had, from my understandings, we had 69 people in my graduating
Nice.
class. Yeah, it was reversed of what my graduating year was. But see, now that's
Why are you looking
I
at me
could
like
be
that?
wrong. He's been wanting to ask me this question, and he's waiting patiently to ask a question.
So, okay. The third grade was Mrs. Minger. Fourth grade was who?
Mrs. Victoria.
Victoria.
Oh yeah, in third grade it was in Dallas Center. Went into fourth grade, and we were bused over to Grimes.
Really?
And
I had
then-
to ride the nerd train from Grimes to Dallas in her freshman year.
And then
As I
fifth
got a
grade
ride.
was Mrs. Dixon.
Dixon.
And then
I
fifth grade
remember-
was a teacher, a guy. His name was Mr. Younkless.
Youngcliffe. That's a funny name.
I think he left after my class.
Kirkpatrick, does that sound familiar? Like the government teacher?
Not to
I
me.
can't remember what his name was.
When I first met Mrs. Dixon, now Mrs. Pink, she didn't necessarily see me. Or no. She looked at me like, hello! And then she looked up and saw my mom, and she was like, no.
She did.
Because, little known fact about my mom, she doesn't change. She looks exactly the same as she did in the fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Well, see, Mrs. Dixon was my fifth grade teacher, and it was.
Well,
she
I
was
say fourth grade because, like, you did.
Yeah,
change.
because she was his fourth grade teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, like, you know, look at
See,
it.
I should have took you to Dallas Center.
Absolutely not.
You should have.
No, hey,
Why?
no. Y'all suck at football. Anyways,
Yeah, and you could have made us better.
no, absolutely not. I would have started.
I
but
remember the game that Urbandale played Dallas Center.
Yeah, and I got 5
I
sacks.
remember that. I was.
Eat my booty.
Okay, let Isaac ask me this question before
Yeah.
he bursts.
I don't need to
And it
know
was
every
weird
single
because the
teacher
junior they
your
were
mother
playing on
had.
our old high school field.
I,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was weird.
What makes you most proud to call yourself the mother of Jordan Van Cleve?
Everything.
Let's get a little bit more specific. Like if
I
there was
like
a
that question.
Family Feud board up, try to get the number one answer.
The only thing I wish he didn't have, I don't know. I'm just proud of everything that he does. He has done. He has did. moving out, going to go live with his dad, dealing with
Are you gonna cry?
no,
Yes.
dealing with all the bullshit over there, and then moving back over here. Something's leaking.
I don't know. There's liquid on
There's a leak?
I don't know. There's a wet spot over
it.
here.
It's like a yellow liquid.
That's
I don't
an
know
air
what it
duct,
is.
fool. But anyways, keep going.
He just
Find
works-
something specific. I know you can. I know you can.
He's the assistant manager at a deli right now.
Oh, I tell everybody I'm proud of him about that. And I
I thought you were gonna be like you were managing now.
What do you brag
I'm an
about to
assistant
people?
manager.
right now this new car that he got.
Okay.
The Camaro. I
But
thought
the
was
fact that
pretty
he's
sweet.
been with Hy-Vee for so long, and
Yeah.
he started out like literally almost like right out of high school, I think.
In
or,
high school.
Or okay, yeah, in high
And he
school.
always loves when I come in there and go, "Oh, the most handsome guy at the deli
I don't love that.
counter."
I don't love that.
I never liked it either. That's why I work at a non-customer job.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's been over a year since I saw my mom at work. It's beautiful.
I
It's
loved it.
just Jordan in general.
That's a good answer.
He's my baby boy. I don't care what you say.
I'm
When
proud
he
that
says, "Stop!"
I'm your baby man.
He's proved himself so many times, and moving out and keeping the job, getting the new car. How many car accidents and one?
Well, only one car accident.
Well, I'm counting the one where the car actually hits you. Well, the Vibe.
Well, that I wasn't in the car.
Yeah,
I know.
And
I
the
know.
car didn't even run.
I know, but still,
he got a paycheck.
$3,000. I mean, yeah, that was nice.
Nice.
the
Why didn't you
Explorer,
have Christmas lights on?
that scared me.
I think they went out a few days ago.
Oh Lord, it's because you never turned them off.
Yeah.
It
It's
happens.
just kinda how it
They're
works.
just Christmas
We got an
lights.
extra fuse for him somewhere.
Yeah. How about the scariest thing? The car accident.
Okay.
That was a
I
big deal. That made the Perry
sped.
News.
I didn't.
Really?
I was expecting to see something worse than what I saw.
It
'Cause
was
I was
pretty bad.
I was preparing myself. But
Mother's
seeing
the
you
same way.
outside
That
on
is
the
true.
on the ground, and then me
I think I was
following.
just sitting down. I wasn't laying on the ground.
No, you were kind of you were sitting up, but you were on the ground.
Well, yeah, because I couldn't fucking walk. My foot was broken.
The tow truck driver was an asshole because he knew the people that he hit, and he threw a fit and cut an attitude with Dad.
Really?
He wasn't gonna drop the Explorer until he got money because he knew who they were.
Okay. That's news to me.
Well, that's what-
Granted, I was in the hospital at the time, so, you know.
I followed the ambulance because nobody was with me when I rolled up on the accident, and I followed the ambulance. Lost them for a minute, but thankfully they told me where they were going, and I met them there. And
Is this the truck accident?
yeah,
My Explorer, my first car.
yeah.
96 Ford Explorer, $500. Great car, great truck. I love that. Now it's,
Only accident I've ever been in was my fastest car. I trusted it too much.
I don't know how many accidents I've been in.
I want to talk about one specifically. It was not here in Grimes. It was in Grimes, right in front of the True Value.
Yeah.
You hit a police car, right?
No, it was an 88 Jeep Cherokee. His brake lights were not working, or they were not turned on. I was looking back at you, talking to you, I believe, look forward and smack.
Yeah, I actually remember
And
that too.
The car seat was not buckled incorrectly, and
My
I had
forehead
to
hit
reach.
the front of the seat.
Yeah, I
the
had
back
to
of the
reach
seat.
back and push him back, the car seat, and pushed him back because he was literally kissing the backs.
I remember my forehead
the back of the passenger seat.
hurting. Yeah. I don't know how old I was then, but it's a miracle I remember it still.
Yeah.
I was probably 2 or 3, honestly.
My mom's endangered me in the same ways plenty of times.
It's not.
Well, okay, that would be the second accident I got into with you.
Really?
The first one, I was T-boned in my little Oldsmobile car, but I was pregnant with you then.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Yes, it does, because
Yeah.
you were with me.
You gonna ask my mother the question I asked yours?
Yeah, that was in the white car. So it was a white car with a red interior, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember that because I remember the red interior was like felt and it was really cool. I liked it.
Jim Larson was so pissed off at me. He's like, I knew I should have drove. I knew I should have drove.
Was he in the car too?
No, he wasn't. But he was over to a friend's house, and that's where we were going to. I was taking a girl home and get back to the apartment. He's like, I got into a car accident. He's like, what did you do? I was like,
Fun fact.
I got T-boned.
Jim Larson is my godfather.
James Larson.
He's Jordan's
He
godfather.
would do this little thing with this stuffed purple, like beanbag purple pig, and I had to go piggy and everything.
Forgot about that.
All right, what? I don't even remember what your question was. I'm
I
sorry.
know.
Okay, so you ask your mother the question then.
I was just telling me what it was.
No.
What makes you proud to say that?
Oh, what makes you proud to say Isaac is your son?
The same question he asked me.
What makes me proud?
Not much.
Oh my good gracious.
I mean, it's obviously like looking at how handsome and beautiful he is, right?
No.
I have bragged about Isaac since the minute he was born.
This is true.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I tell everybody, people I've cut hair, I mean, people that I've cut hair for many, many years know.
I got this beautiful son.
Isaac's
I cut his
whole-
hair all the time.
And she lies to
No.
everybody.
They know his whole story. I mean, I cut some people's hair for 15 plus years.
And she still does
they
not
would
plug the podcast.
ask me about certain aspects of his life. You know, like, oh, how's this going? Or how's that going with it? Because I always was talking about it.
Did I ever babysit him?
I'm not sure. All the kids were together several different times, you
Yeah.
know, but
Okay, I don't know if you guys even remember this, but Dusty and I used to live in the same apartment complex in Grimes. We lived in one building and she lived in another. And
anyway, let me finish my
well, I
my
didn't know if I ever
praising
watched
of
him
the-
while
of
you
the
was.
son.
I don't remember if I ever watched him while you was living there.
I remember Jordan coming over when I was pregnant with Isaac. But, anyway, I mean, from the beginning of time, I mean, he went through 3.5 years of chemotherapy, so he's a survivor. So, I mean, that is...
I think that would
So,
be. I think that would be my
you
proudest
know,
moment. That would top
strong.
everything.
You know, and then his show choir and his football. I tell you, one of the things that I miss the most is because he was in show choir and football, and I miss sitting there in the freezing cold and whatever, and
Holy-
watching his football games and watching him play and his show choir. I never
When did I
missed
play?
any your football games.
Oh, they put me in some of those games, yeah.
And
You never
with
missed
in
anything.
show choir, the only ones I couldn't make are the ones that were 5 hours away. Like they went to Minnesota, that was like 4 or 5 hours away, and they went to Illinois, that was like 5 hours away. So we didn't go to those, but we did go to the Nebraska ones, the ones that were about 2-3 hours away. We'd go and watch him dance for 20 minutes, you know, and hang around and stuff like that. And I was always so proud of him. I mean, I was just the whole time, and I'd watch him the whole time. I never like got to enjoy the whole thing, you know, like as
Pictures.
a whole,
Remember
because I
seeing
was
all the
always
pictures.
watching him and videoing and taking pictures of him, and I was just so incredibly proud of him. And then, you know, he's been through a lot. I mean, he's a strong person. We, you know, when we lost Justin, he had to figure out his own life because I was a wreck. So, I mean, and then he went back to college, you know, because he was in college at that time and dropped out. Then he's went back to college, and I've always been so proud of the fact that this kid started working at 16 years old and has never stopped working. Because he
Many
gets
different
another-
jobs.
He gets it.
That's what I was
but
gonna say.
he was at his first job for about 3 years. Then he was at Homemakers for about a year or so, and he was at Walgreens for about a year. You know, so he's always kept his job.
There was a period of time where he
But-
didn't have a job.
Not
Well,
very long.
The
though.
longest
I mean,
the longest time I was unemployed since my first job was about 5 or 6 months, and that was because I was trying to go to the military.
See,
And
you
that was
know,
from
so
November
his work
2020
ethic,
to about March. I don't even know.
so proud of his work ethic and the dedication in the show choir and football. He had complete dedication. So his dedication, his strength, is and his work ethic are impeccable. I mean, he's trying to do a job and do this, and he was doing some football show with Mason. I mean, he's trying to go for. He always has an outlook and a goal and the future in his brain. And that's what he wants to set out, and he wants to achieve this stuff, and he has it. He strives for it, and he doesn't let things get him down. And so I'm very proud on all of those aspects.
Y'all are good kids.
We try.
We try, yeah.
That's another thing. I set out rules that no drinking, no smoking, no this, no that, and he listened to me.
Until
I wanted
I was
him.
17.
Shut up. I wanted him to live a completely different life than I did. I started smoking when I was 12 years old. I didn't want my kids to do that. I wanted them to walk across the stage.
18.
And all of that stuff. So, and he did those things. And I was very proud and happy about that.
I'd like
Will you quit running your mouth? What are you over here saying?
I was 18, yeah.
When what?
When I stopped following all of those rules.
Oh, and he didn't cuss in front of me until he got older and after Justin died. Oh, full-fledged.
Yes.
I can say whatever I want. But before that, he had the utmost respect there. He didn't do that.
That
He
does
didn't
not
really.
correlate.
Jordan
but-
didn't really cuss in front of me.
I didn't
He
really
hid it
cuss
very,
it.
very well. Well, true, but I could hear him cussing to his friends when he's gaming behind closed doors. I would laugh.
It was like when he turned 18, he could do whatever the hell he wanted to.
I said my first swear word consciously when I was 16. Because I was like, when I turn 16, I'm going to swear all the time. Then I didn't do it.
Apparently, my children did all the time behind my back, but I didn't know about it.
I'll have you know,
So
I
that's the best
have
time.
yet to curse in this podcast episode. You guys are all classless.
I've
Fuck.
tried. I've tried. There's been a few, but I've tried.
Dude,
I
think
don't-
about what our era was. We grew up on drinking out of hoses, and we survived. And riding in the backs of trucks with no seatbelts, driving down
Really?
Myrtle
You
Hay
think
Road.
trucks don't exist anymore? We do that.
Oh, well, okay. I don't remember who it was, but somebody said they
Start
saw
talking
kids.
about like cassette tapes or something, and then we won't
My
be able to
car,
relate.
an 04 Impala does not have a CD player. It's got a cassette deck, tape
Really?
deck.
That's
Yes.
funny.
I asked my cousin Ricky, can we get rid of this?
Remember
like,
the tape
yeah, I
that
just
you
don't know
put
how
in
to.
And hook up your CD player with the tape that goes in.
Hey, I could do
And
that.
record.
I could do that.
The Beamer has a CD player. It's not, it's an 04 too. It's going to be a
Really?
classic next year. Yeah, I thought about putting in a Good Guy show. Because on import day, the third day.
My Camaro has the original radio in it. Actually, it's pretty sick. It's got a cassette player. Yeah, and the one that Andy bought, which is a year newer than mine, has an aftermarket
I'm not
radio.
answering it.
Who is it?
Katie.
Oh.
Katie.
There you go.
Can I? I would love to.
No.
A video.
Hey, we're recording a podcast right now. Talk to you later. Bye.
Oh. I was
The
just,
look on her face was like,
I was just going to be smart with her as long as
he
I could.
was.
I also rated the call 5 stars.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I wonder why they do that. Like, who
I
cares?
have no idea.
Oh, I had a horrible conversation with this person. Half star.
I think it's about quality of the call, like
Oh.
video.
Yeah, it's not about the conversation.
I never thought about that, yeah. That makes a lot more sense.
What was the question?
I was bragging about
There,
Isaac.
there
Oh,
was
yes.
no question.
Oh, yes.
I mean, after she answered it, there was no question.
Okay, I would like to say it was
Are we supposed
me.
to ask them questions?
I don't know.
I
But
mean, you
I'd like to say
can.
it was me that got you two to start talking and hanging out with each other again because I was over here visiting and you brought up your gaming laptop. That was like,
That was not it at all.
No, they were.
I know what had to happen for Jordan and I to start hanging out together.
You worked at Hy-Vee together.
I got my heart broken.
No, I think
You went to
Hy-Vee actually.
Hy-Vee was
well,
the
Hy-Vee-
Hy-Vee
pregame.
helped a little bit, but it was not what
I thought
started
that was
it.
after it because I was asking him about his gaming computer because it's all rainbowy
No,
and
that was long after
This
Hy-Vee.
thing?
Is it? No, you had to
It is this one.
design. No, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it up there. But yeah, it was that thing. It was like really cool and shit. And I talked to Jordan about it. And
They worked at Hy-Vee.
Anyways, yes, we worked at Hy-Vee together.
I knew that,
we
but
were
I
like
thought that
somewhat
was,
friends
like,
at that
after
time.
that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were friends, but like we weren't like close friends. what really happened is when Justin died.
That's
Honestly,
yeah.
that was
You guys
the
hung out before that.
not really. That's what I akin to it, because had Justin not died and you would still have gotten your heart broken, I'd probably been like, keep your chin out, punk. You'll do better.
And I hate to say it, because Justin passing was the reason why I stopped coming around here, because I started having really bad depression. And
Justin's-
seeing you go through it.
Justin affected a lot of people.
He
was
did.
loved by very.
You know, I
and
worked
when
with
you
his
shared
brother.
that video on my birthday,
True.
when you all
And he
singing happy
walked
birthday,
by, he was
So
singing
weird.
to you.
I started crying watching
I
it.
hesitated posting it, but I was like, I've got to.
I miss him. He
I
was
do too.
he was a good
I
guy.
don't think they heard me
Every
say that.
day.
I work with his brother.
John
He doesn't talk to him, I guess.
I think it's John.
Seaver.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
worked for Hy-Vee,
Yep. He works at the Grime store now.
does he?
Yep. He's a cook. He cuts onions on our slicers a lot.
Have you ever talked to him and told
Yeah.
him who you are? And
No, but he did like one of my Facebook posts when I shared something about Justin, though. So
said yes.
And then he might know who you are now.
he might, but I don't know. Maybe he didn't make the connection, but I don't know. But yeah, Justin affected us in a lot of ways. Ultimately, that's what I akin to it. But that was kind of like, that's what the first push was. But when Isaac got broken up with, that was what got the ball rolling. Because, you know, I had went through...
Yeah, Jordan just started coming over with pizza.
I had went through my heartbreak, and
That was
I
all
was
Dusty
like,
would eat was pizza.
Pizza and beer.
Mind you, it was only a bite here and a bite there, and she was done. But
See, and I lost all the weight. Now I put it all back on.
Oh, Mom, you're so obese, dude.
I've
Look at
gained
you.
30
I can't
pounds.
even fit all of you in the
30
freaking frame.
pounds.
It's
I
crazy.
gained 30 pounds.
Oh,
I came
dude.
over because I wanted to support Isaac in this really troubling time.
And he needed to.
I knew how difficult it was, and I brought food because food helps the heart.
Yeah.
As much as he hated Domino's,
I started to hate Domino's because, you know, I already had a roommate that would order Domino's all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but he'd still eat it because, like,
it was food.
You gotta
Yeah.
eat.
no, I would come over. It was back when he lived at Eli's apartment, and he would keep that apartment either like burning hot or freezing cold constantly. It was the most frustrating thing ever.
I never liked it hot, so I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe an Eli thing.
Yeah, maybe. Not you. I'm saying Eli would keep it either
yeah.
freezing cold
Yeah,
or burning hot. Like the AC would be running in the winter. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Just open the window.
I did that.
That's weird.
Living in Grimes. Dude, hot flashes suck.
I
Just
have
open the
AC.
window.
It
I
don't
open my
work.
window, it gets down to 20 degrees in there during the winter. Anyways, I would come over and you know, I would just be there. I'd play video games with him. I'd force him to eat a really hot chip without him knowing. That was pretty
That was
fun.
terrible.
The first one chip challenge, as you guys know, in episode 4.
I reattempted in episode 6.
Yep.
Did you
Uh,
complete it? Because I never got to
No.
I did complete it.
No, you
Did
didn't.
you?
No, yes, I did. I ate
You
the
didn't-
whole thing. I ate the whole thing.
Ulcers.
It's on
not
camera,
good for
son. Try to argue with me about it.
Because
It's
I
on
remember,
camera. I ate the
me and
whole
Simon
thing.
talking about, hey, you didn't actually finish it all the way.
No. It was you were supposed to wait to drink something, and then that was when I was not successful.
okay, maybe that was it.
Maybe that was it. Go on
I'll have to look at it again because I don't believe you. But anyways, the very first one, I bought 8 of them and I brought them over to the apartment. And me and Dustin were just like, I'm gonna make Isaac think this is a new Dorito. So I took it out of the package. I was like, Isaac, here, try this new Dorito. Whoa! It was very funny, very very funny.
Could you give me a warning? I went outside in my underwear chugging a gallon of milk. I was like, this is my milk, I'm chugging it.
That's exactly what you said.
Yep.
That's
No.
funny.
Well, after an hour and 15 minutes, is there anything that you guys want to ask us?
What was your first cars?
91
That's not at all what I
Chevy
suggested.
Cavalier that was red 4-door RS.
I don't remember what year it was, but it was an Oldsmobile
A loser.
something. The little white four-door
Oldsmobiles
car.
can be pimped.
I had the red interior.
No, Oldsmobiles are great. Don't get me wrong. I remember Grandma when I was a little kid. Grandma had that.
My second car was a 1990 Beretta GT.
Beretta.
Up until
It was
the
maroon.
up until my Hyundai, every car that I've owned, I've broke.
Maybe you should change the way you drive.
I mean, she didn't break the Hyundai.
No, Hyundai wasn't my fault.
I had an 86
Did have its issues,
Topaz, an 86
Yes.
Buick Century, a 93 minivan, a 96 minivan, can't remember what the Durango, the Dodge. No, it wasn't a Durango. It was a Dodge Dakota truck. It was red. Can't remember what year that was.
93.
Uh,
have no idea.
86 Cougar. I've had many cars.
I've had too many cars too.
I've had 4.
Y'all know how to drive a stick shift?
Not yet.
No.
I'm planning on learning.
Dude.
Wait, I never.
Why are you mad? You're our guidance.
I had another.
You're our parent.
You
I
learned
taught
2
myself.
years ago.
I
You
had
learned
an
2 years
86
ago.
Listen,
No.
I had an 86 black stick shift, but he was too little to learn how to drive at that time. That was the only time I had a stick shift. So.
No, it was 9 years ago.
Yeah, I'm looking for my first
Maybe
car.
10.
Mom and Justin did not want to teach me.
We didn't
They're
want
like,
you to
look for
buy a stick
automatics.
shift for your first car. We didn't want it to be. It was already hard enough to try to teach you to drive, let alone try to teach you how to do a stick shift when you had ADHD. I mean, come on now.
All right. Yeah.
It could be
Going
the
back.
most simplest thing though to learn.
Going back to Isaac's thing. Do you guys have any questions
not
for us?
a good teacher driving. I was so scared. The
Do you have
whole
any
time.
questions for us, folks?
No.
None?
Why not? Find one.
What is your fondest memory of you and I or our family?
When I had cancer and we watched Ninja Turtles live action movie in a hospital bed.
Same question.
You know.
Now, since your dad and I aren't together, you could do one from your dad and one from me too.
No, I was.
We'll do
gonna-
that for Father's
I
Day,
was.
bro.
I remember a lot of when
Who
you guys
cares
were
about
together.
Andy?
So there actually is one in particular from when you guys were together when we lived in Davenport. I don't remember what the situation was, what happened, but Dad and you, we went to
Okay.
Walmart, and
You got separated from us.
that was not a fondest memory. That's not
What
what I was
happened?
talking about.
Oh.
I do remember that though. Mom was sitting down on a bench crying, and me and Dad started walking away because Dad was like, "Come on, let's go do something." And I thought we just left Mom there. I started freaking out, so I went back to the bench, and she wasn't there. I was like, "What the heck?" And I went back to try to find Dad, and he was gone. I was like,
How
"Oh my
old
God,
were
I
you?
couldn't find anyone."
He was
I
little.
started crying, and I was like,
Well, he was
about
3 or 4 when we moved to Davenport.
I was 4 when we moved to Davenport.
How
Okay.
did
Was
you
it at Davenport?
find him?
They called the code Adam.
Yeah, I did the right thing, customer service. I went to them. I was like, I can't find my mommy.
Where was this at?
At a Walmart in
I
Davenport.
guess I didn't realize
Oh,
it.
you were at
I thought it was
Walmart. I thought you were at a park because you said
No.
she was on a bench crying.
Yeah, it was back when
No.
Walmart had benches.
Yeah.
That would have been
I freaked
terrible.
out.
Oh
I-
my god, I would have freaked
Being
out.
fat, I don't run, but I ran fast, and I about passed out on the way to where he was because they called it over the intercom. And I started running, and I stopped when then Andy kept on going, and
Why did you sit down crying though? Do you remember that?
no.
No.
Like, the shock of losing, not knowing where you were, probably erased that memory.
Was it before?
Yeah, before I got.
I was probably just sitting down on a bench trying shoes or something. Cause I
No,
was,
you were crying. I remember.
maybe your dad and I were fighting then or
Probably.
something.
Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. That's probably it.
We fought a lot.
Anyways, one of the fondest memories. We had went to Walmart, and you and Dad had bought me like.
Yeah, that was like a tragic memory. Like,
That was my memory. This is a different memory.
You and Dad had bought me 6 Transformers, and one go. It was like the most I ever got. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is the best day of my life. And then we got home, and I was opening, and Dad was sitting there opening them with me. We were like playing with them together, and you were just sitting there too. You weren't playing with them because you're a girl or some loser stuff, but No, that was. I don't remember. Like, Dad just. You guys just had like
You were
a
happy.
decent amount of money
Yeah.
at that moment, and I was just like, the guys just got me a bunch of
We were
Transformers.
actually-
Must have been April.
What?
Must have been April.
Tax time, probably.
That was probably it, honestly.
We were actually really struggling. That's why we.
Well, yeah, you guys got
moved.
evicted from that place because you couldn't afford rent. Also, Dad kept losing his job,
Yeah.
so
What was the funnest thing that we ever did for you?
camping. You guys went camping a lot.
That doesn't mean
That was a week long.
they were always going to
By day 4, we wanted to kill each other.
It was fun. I wanted
The
to make as many
funnest
memories as
thing-
we could.
funnest
traditions.
thing.
Shitting yourself.
I
Definitely.
always
That
did
was pretty
traditions.
funny.
Funnest thing. Funnest thing. I mean, Mom always did some cool shit for my birthday. So yeah, I've never had a boring birthday. So I like to put everything together. Her efforts for making my birthdays great. So yeah, those were always fun. Axe throwing last year, whatever the hell it was the year before that. Lots
Game
of
day, we
bowling.
went bowling. We did a lot of bowling.
Lots of bowling, lots of arcades, lots of other stuff.
We always had to do inside stuff because your birthday's in October.
Yeah. But do you guys approve of our hobbies?
I mean, my hobbies are just spending money, so.
Your hobbies are Transformers and Hot Wheels. My hobbies are wrestlers.
See, the only thing I don't care for is the fact that you don't come see your family very often.
Oh,
Well, that's not a hobby. That sounds like a chore.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying though. I mean, if I want to see my son, I gotta go see him at work or go to the house if
Yeah.
he's ever home.
It's a two-way street. You can come see me at any moment.
But you never. I see you more at work.
Well, yeah, because I'm working. That's
the
kind of
only-
how that works.
It's the only time I get to see you though, because I've asked you for Easter.
We were gonna start a movie thing. We went once, twice. No, once.
Well,
I
we're
took you
going
on
to
your
see
birthday.
Guardians 3 on Monday,
Yeah, so we
so
were gonna try to do like a once a week movie thing or something like that.
I would strongly approve.
Hi, baby.
Hey, buddy.
Your nose is running.
It's always running.
Oh, baby.
Ouch. Rub it.
Come
Rub
here.
it.
Come here. Come here.
Rub it.
Come here. Let me see.
fine.
Are you
I can
bleeding?
magic kiss.
It's fine.
Let me magic kiss it.
Okay.
Okay.
Magic kiss. Are you better?
Do we conclude this episode?
When
Wait, Terrain has to talk.
He did talk quite a bit at the beginning.
what's up, guys?
Jordan?
So
were you gonna
I
say?
was going to my first church. So I've been good at my church.
You like church, don't you?
So I was playing with so many kids. Now your turn.
Okay. Jordan, it's your turn.
Jordan,
I don't remember
your
what I
turn.
was going to say, honestly.
Oh, well, do
Jordan.
we conclude this
Your
episode?
turn.
I did have something
So
else to
I
say.
left.
Um,
So
What do you want for Mother's Day?
So Bina
I'm taking you to the movies. Cool.
and
You know what I want. I want you.
and
What I've
and
wanted since Justin passed.
and
Justin
Bina's
would always
daughter.
get me peonies to plant
Now
for
your
Mother's
turn.
Day.
There's one of those a peony?
So no.
Damn it.
So on the first Mother's Day, right shortly after he passed away,
So it was
they didn't do
Easter.
it. And
So it
so
was
I
Easter.
always want you and your sister to go
So-
together and get me a peonies.
They're not
But
gonna
then
do
I
that.
feel like I'm dictating it. I
They
want
hate
them
each
just
other,
to
so-
do
There was
it.
a-
you
She
know?
wants us to just know without asking.
Yeah, he did it every year, so I figured
And I
that they
saw
would
the Easter
have. I was
chocolate
was so
in
heartbroken
the
when he
house.
didn't.
and I
What the
found
hell, Isaac?
I know,
Why you
right?
not get me the peonies?
No, I sat up there and cried.
Well, I'm taking you to
because I
Guardians
knew.
3, so
That's a peony.
and I was good.
yeah.
So we.
What do
did-
you want for Mother's Day?
So
I hope it's flowers, because that's what you got.
so
There you
we-
go. We're good.
So we were
Cool.
playing.
Jordan,
So
I'm-
we
you gotta do something like go to dinner or
I don't
something
have
like
time for that.
Sorry.
I miss when me and Isaac used to go on like dates.
So my
And we'd
meaning
go to like
was
Hoo Ha, and I take a picture
Never
of me
been
like
there.
my date for
It's
tonight.
overrated.
You know, me and my son, and we used to do that.
So it's my
You know.
birthday.
So y'all-
and stuff.
So, but they got busy, so
And
we
it's
don't do
Isaac's
that
birthday.
anymore and stuff
Yeah.
like
And
that.
Bina's
So I get
We don't go
birthday.
camping anymore
And
because of
Jordan's
him.
birthday.
No, because Justin passed away. We don't
Not
know how to
true.
do the camper.
Not true.
I mean,
Do you guys
can
still have the
figure it out.
camper?
We stopped
Yeah,
going-
I paid it
You
off
were
when he
being
died.
good, and
So
stuff.
where's it at?
And my
We
garage.
stopped
the
going
garage.
every year for camping. We would go for the birthdays of Justin and
Stop
Sydney.
it.
He was born right before Justin's birthday,
So we didn't. go
so
that
we
year.
didn't go that year, and every following year.
Because he died the next year.
Well, let's go camping.
Everybody.
What were you gonna say? You guys something.
So I
for
was
just
saying,
another idea for your
I was
podcast.
doing this podcast.
What's up?
She wants to be a regular.
No, you need to have your sisters on.
So, see, what I
Another episode.
I had an ultimate goal of getting every sister of mine
Oh,
on
good
one
God.
episode, but
How many
considering that
sisters
my
do you
youngest
have?
sister is like 2 now,
So,
yeah, I'd have to wait at
this
least
is
like 5
Mimi's
years to have like a
flower.
coherent
and can I smell
That's
it?
okay.
Can
discussion.
I smell it?
That's okay.
Can I smell
She can
it?
still
Plus,
be
all
on
my
it.
sisters hate each
Can
other.
I smell it?
Not all of them.
They like
Three of them like
they
each
like
other.
compete for my approval,
Why-
even though I don't approve of any of them. It's insane.
So,
Well,
Isaac
Jordan's
was
only
being
got
a good
Miracle,
boy
so-
when he was
Yeah.
quiet with
It'd
me
be 5 of my
with all of
sisters
his
and then Miracle.
toys. So you
For
want
the
to
I think
ultimate
if you
Sisters
do
Day
the
episode.
So you
sister
wanna see
episode,
my
that might just
toys?
be a you episode, and then we just have
Subscribe.
Miracle on as a separate
I'm
episode.
saying
Yep.
the
Because
toys.
that's a lot of people to handle in one go.
Yep.
It's a lot of people to handle in this one little
I
room.
think that's a lot
I mean,
of
at that point,
people.
we'd probably be in a different location.
5 years from now, we'd better be in a
So
different
you wanna
location.
see it?
That or
Okay,
this
guys.
place just gets a serious
You wanna
upgrade.
see it?
Could be
Is
that
that
too.
good, guys?
Yes, that is good.
Show it.
All right.
Jordan stole
Well, I
Tyrion's
was gonna put
thunder.
the camera on Tyrion and have him close out the episode.
Do it.
Tyrion,
What? What?
say this has been the Too Many Words Mother's Day special.
Okay. This bin was too many words. Mother's Day. Mother's
Special.
Day. Special.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching us
And listening.
and listen.
Say I love you, Mimi.
I love you, Mimi.
I love you, Mom.
I love you.
I love you, Mommy.
Jordan.
Love you, Mom.
Love you too, son.
Yeah. Cool.
Very good boys. Both of you turned out to be good boys.
All right.
You did.
I was a good boy.
It was
You
hard.
are
You
gonna
ain't
be a
even
good
my
boy.
son, and I'm proud of everything that you've
when
done
I was
too.
gonna
Thank
get
you.
Every
things
year.
for my birthday,
All right.
so it was
On
Grandpa
3.
Jerry's.
On 3, we say
Hey, wait a
Amen.
second.
Or you
Who
can
do you
say a
guys make
prayer.
this podcast episode out to? Who or what do you guys
So
make this
look at
podcast
this
episode out
Ninja
to?
Turtle
What do you mean?
I brought.
Every episode we
Look at
dedicate to
this.
someone or
Look at
something.
this.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be a penny you found on the floor yesterday.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
This is
So
this is
who or
my
what?
Ninja
One
you guys-
time, I dedicated an episode to chicken parmesan.
One time I just dedicated an episode to what's the weirdest thing I ever did?
I don't know. You like to do a lot of people.
Well,
Well,
since it's Mother's Day, family,
Mother's Day.
okay. How about you?
best friends.
Best friends forever.
Just- Yeah, we've grown up together. Our kids have grown up together, and good times and
Yeah,
grandkids.
There's the grandkid.
Yeah.
I'm a grandkid
Yes,
You
you, are
are
a
a
grandkid.
because I'm a grandkid.
Well, there's
because
Mom's
I'm
answer.
A grandkid.
What's your answer?
Okay. Happy
Hold on.
birthday to
Hold on,
you.
let Grandma, let Mimi talk. Okay.
Okay.
What should we dedicate the episode to?
Me.
To you?
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna say that.
I knew he was going to say that too.
Let's dedicate the episode to Tyrion and mothers out there that have good boys.
All right. What do you dedicate this episode
And
out to?
Isaac.
This episode goes out to clear skies, but not too hot, because the weather lately has been terrible, and I hate it.
Oh, I love it. And all the flowers. I dedicate it to flowers everywhere.
I think I've already dedicated an episode to my mother, so this one
You
goes
want
out to
some
Jerry.
flowers? I got flower seeds
You already
in my
did that
purse.
too, kind of.
I have.
You did an episode where you
I kinda
dedicated
did, I
an
kinda
episode
did.
like three
I got a whole
different
bunch
things.
of like I need to plan.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the rain a lot, but not when I'm trying to work on a car, damn it.
All right. This episode goes out to every mom out there
Thank you.
I'm a mom.
and every
You're
child.
not a mom.
You know, to those who have mothers, do something special. By the time this comes out, it might be a few days past Mother's Day, but hey, if you didn't do
Maybe.
anything,
We'll see
make
what
it up.
happens. If we're not going
Okay,
to,
get some brownie points today.
All
1,
right.
2, 3, amen.
Oh, and
Now-
Grandma C's birthday today.
And
Yeah.
Grandma C's birthday.
86 years old.
So every episode we also
What?
close, we also close with an amen on 3. We'll say
Are you
1,
gonna
2,
say it
3,
prior
amen.
to?
No, we just close with amen on 3.
What's up?
So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then everyone's gonna say amen. You don't have to say it. We're not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to. Okay. So, but yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Isaac.
1, 2, 3.
Amen.
Amen.
We didn't really clap it in, but it's fine.
Are
We
we
had a
supposed to
nice
clap?
intro.
I'm clapping.